What you have seen in the previous class is 0.64 plus or minus 0.1176. So if you add 0.6400 plus 0.1176, you are getting 0.7576, that is upper limit. And if you subtract 0.6400 minus 0.1176, you are getting the lower limit 0.5224. So it is the confidence interval is 0.5224, 0.7576. So the lower confidence limit is percentage. If we convert into percentage, is 52.24 percentage. The upper confidence limit is 75.76 percentage. And the previous class I told you how to find the 95% interval from the normal curve area table. Therefore 95% is 0.95 divided by 2, you will be getting 0.475. So we will see the normal table. What is 0.475? Normal statistical table. This is the normal area table. 0.475, here it is. I have shaded, right? 0.475. So if you see it is 1.9 here. Sorry. It's 1.9. Here it is. 1.9. 1.9 and 6 is here. These two coincides at 0.475. Can you see here? 1.9. Here you can see 1.9. Here you can see 6. So 1.96. That we have seen in the previous class. No, 1.96. Right? That is how you got 1.96. Right? From the area, what you get? 1.96. This is nothing but, what is 1.6? The standard variate 95% confidence is. This is the standard variate 1.96. This is as per the normal curve area table. Okay. Now we go to sample size and its determination. What you are going to learn is okay, first is in order to find the sample size, first we have to consider the nature of universe. Okay, how to means what is the sample size which is ideal? The question arises in your mind. In order to find the ideal sample size, the first thing you should consider is nature of the universe. Universe may be there is a two things. Universe may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Or if I take, if we are going to take our classroom situation, it is heterogeneous. Students in the classroom, they are heterogeneous groups. If you see rice in a sack, is homogeneous. So the nature of universe may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. If the items of the universe are homogeneous, a small sample, here you can take a small sample. Small sample is enough. Like a sack of rice you are having now. Suppose you are having a sack of rice. Okay, you can take a handful of sample. Okay, handful. We are having a sack of rice. Can you see this? I don't think it's proper. Okay. You have a sack of rice. Okay, what is this? Sack of rice. If you have a sack of rice, a small, okay, small, you can say handful. Handful of rice is enough to check the rice in the sack. So a small sample is enough if the population is homogeneous. If the population is heterogeneous, okay, large sample, we need a large sample. For example, students in your classroom, if I want to take that sample, it should be a large sample. So Technically, this can be termed as dispersion factor. How they differ, no? Dispersion. Next is 2. Number of classes proposed. Suppose I want to divide the population into small groups, right? The full population I'm dividing into small groups, G1, G2, G3. Like this, I'm dividing the population into small subgroups. Here, a large sample, we need a large sample. Okay, if I'm further dividing. So, in my class groups, or means in my class groups are from in my class, no, your class, if I want to form the groups. A large sample would be required because a small sample might not be able to give reasonable number of items in each class. Okay, that is the reason I need a large sample. Now we go to the third one, nature of study. Okay, intensively and continuously studied. Suppose the item are there. Sample, for example, I am taking one 7th standard class. Okay, now the students are there in 7th standard. I started my study. Okay, the students entered 7th standard, I started my study. Again, same students are going to 8th standard. My study continues. Same students are going to 9th standard, my study continues. So 3 years, I'm going to study about them for 3 years. So it is I'm going to study intensively, means in-depth study I can call, and continuously from 7th to 8th, 8th to 9th, continuously I want to study. Here I have to take the small sample. Because big sample will be difficult because I'm going to follow them for first year, second year and third year. So I need only a small sample. But the small sample is considered appropriate in the technical surveys. Some technical surveys there, then also I need a small sample. Now the fourth one, type of sampling. Okay, sampling technique plays an important part in determining the size of the sample. A small random sample is apt to be much superior to the large but badly selected sample. Suppose I am having the population here, a homogeneous population, okay, or a heterogeneous also. If I am going to select the sample randomly, then small is enough. Instead of taking a large sample and it is not scientifically followed, although it is small, I am using random selection. So in that case, small also is fine because my selection is random. So type of sampling. The fifth one is standard. Standard of accuracy. Okay, standard of accuracy and acceptable confidence level. Okay, standard of accuracy and acceptable confidence level. If the standard of accuracy or level of precision is to be kept high, so if suppose I am going to sell 95% level of confidence, okay, is kept high, the standard of accuracy or level of precision is to be kept high, we shall require relatively large sample. You want a large sample. Okay. for doubling the accuracy, I am still doubling it, then I need a very large sample. Means I'm increasing accuracy, this much accurate I should be. Then I need a very large sample so that I can be close to accurate. Not exactly, but close to the accurate. The sixth one is availability of finance. That is very important. Of finance. What is the money available? Okay, the population, if I'll be going for the small sample. If the money available is more, I'll go to the large sample. So, in practice, size of the sample depends upon the amount of money available. Okay, whatever amount of money available, accordingly, I will select the sample. So, available for the study purpose. This factor should be kept in view while determining the size of the sample for large samples, resulting in increasing cost of sampling estimates. Okay, if you are having very less money, you cannot go for large sample because it needs more money. Right, that is also one of the factor for selecting their sample. The seventh one is other considerations. Okay, nature of units, size of the population. Okay, how many units you are going to select from the population? The size of the population, if the population is too big or too small, right? If you take India, the population size is too huge, right? So accordingly, we have to select the sample, that is size of the population. Means number of individuals are there in the population, number of observations are there in the population, right? Next is size of questionnaire. If I have a large questionnaire, there are 100 questions, then 1000 people getting answer from 1000 people will be very difficult. So if the questionnaire size is too large, I should get very small sample. I cannot go for a very large sample. Small sample is enough. If my questionnaire is only 20 questions are there, then I can go for the large sample. Then availability of trained investigator. Okay, how many trained investigators are there? Accordingly, I can select the sample. The conditions under which the investigator means the person who goes to the field and collects the data. They are said to be the investigator, right? The condition under which the sample is being conducted. Okay, what are the conditions? It may be certain conditions are imposed by collecting the sample. If the condition is too difficult, means it becomes difficult for us to strict. It becomes difficult for us to collect sample from the large sample. You can go for the small sample if the conditions are too high. The time available, time limit. Okay. For the study, for completion of the study. If you are going for the PhD work, then the time available is less, so you don't go for a very large sample, right? And a few other considerations, maybe you can add some more considerations also. So this is what all about the